And welcome to Final Fights, brought to you by Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a woman who picked this first episode, and I think it's a great pick. It's Megan Hoffmeyer.
I'm so excited, I might throw some chest kicks.
Oh, goodness. This is our first episode of Final Fights, and basically what this is we're going to go through movies and just talk about the final fights at the end. So, not in the middle, not in the beginning, the finale final fight. Make sense?
I'm in.
So when I asked you to pick the first movie for the first episode, you didn't even wait to say what the movie was. So what was it? Why'd you want to pick The Night Comes for Us?
I mean, when I think about movie fights, this is, I don't know how long the movie is, but this is that many minutes full of fights, basically. It is nonstop.
Yeah, we read an article saying it's 85% fights and 15% plot.
Yeah, that's about right, but it's just so, it's hard to look away from it because you might miss something cool in a fight.
There's so much violence in The Night Comes for Us.
I mean, would it be fair to say you can't really tell in this movie where the final fight even begins? Because it's all fights.
The whole thing is a fight, so the whole thing is a final fight.
All right, scrap it. We're just going to talk about the whole movie.
Yeah, the 3-hour-long podcast. Each fight, just an entire episode series about the fights in this movie. But we're going to be talking about the 9-minute finale fight.
Oh, wow.
Between, we can say it, our homeboys, right? We don't know them, but we love them.
Oh, we love us some Iko and Joe.
I mean, Joe Taslim and Iko Uwais absolutely destroy each other for 9 minutes in this movie. Now, I have a question for you. How many punches or strikes, flips, cuts, stabs do you think land?
So all of them combined?
All of them combined.
Stabs and kicks and everything?
Throws, everything.
300.
Oh, gosh. Well, that makes me feel bad. 128.
I mean, I was trying to be outrageous.
I mean, they throw at least 300. A lot are blocked.
9 minutes is a long time.
9 minutes, 128 strikes. Now, I think it slows down a little bit when he's trying to, saw his head in half. There aren't that many strikes during that scene.
Yeah, he manages to clip the hair a little.
I mean, but do you think this is what else could be the best action film in the last couple of years? Aside from this.
The Raid?
The Raid, 2010, 2011. The Raid 2.
The Raid Redemption.
The Raid Redemption. There's the Raid Redemption, the Raid 2, Mad Max Fury Road?
I don't think it has a lot more plot.
What about the John Wicks?
Oh, yeah, well, the John Wick movies.
Triple Threat?
Yeah, sure.
Aside from Scott Adkins'
I think there's more plot in that movie than there is in this movie.
There's a lot of plot in that movie.
But it's really funny. Tony Jaa and...
Yeah, Tiger Chen.
Yeah, they're just hilarious.
Our boy Scotty Atz.
Hanging out in that broken down cafe and...
Drinking beer?
Yep.
That'd be so much fun. But so this is the perfect one to do for our final fights because the movie is basically... It is all fights. I don't even say basically. It's all fights. Mm-hmm. And what it leads to at the end is a 9-minute brawl between two members of the Triad who've kind of... One of them's gone rogue. He was a member of the 6 C's who just killed... I guess what they do is they kill the living daylights out of people that annoy the Triad.
Describe them as Triad enforcers, the two of them.
So it's 2 Triad enforcers who have been killing the absolute ever-loving snot out of people.
Just the snot? That seems so PG.
Well, I was gonna absolute ever-living shit out of people.
The squishy, gushy blood that's in this movie, that's what they're killing out of people. So much blood.
So John Levengood, the writer for Movies, Films, and Flicks, he wrote a review for this on the website, and he said it's one of the greatest squishy, bloody, gory things in years. IndieWire said it's the goriest horror action film in years.
It was funny. Who is it? The Ringer did a funny article about the winners and losers, and they said the fake blood industry is a winner for this movie because of so much blood. I forgot. We haven't watched it in, I don't know, what would you say? Maybe a year?
3 days.
Since last night. We haven't watched it in maybe a year, and I forgot how bloody it was. And I knew going into this just how brutal this movie is.
I was listening to director, his name's Timo Chiantu. And he did a TED Talk, which is pretty cool. You should look that up. Oh, that's
kind of awesome.
Yeah, but he started with horror. So he did the VHS 2 one with Gareth Evans, where it's the cult. And it just goes the hell in a handbasket. Well, literally hell in a handbasket.
Horror novice over here. Those are the ones that's a bunch of different videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this guy comes from a very bloody... he did an action film called Headshot. And he's just known for incredibly bloody horror. So he brought a very visceral aesthetic.
The squish.
He brought the squish to this fight scene. And you know what I like about this scene is we watch a lot of these fight scenes, and I don't want to dog on any of them, but you don't you don't feel them. Right?
Oh,
so
you feel this.
Yeah, and you know what I think is really smart in this? There's a scene where there's a steel pole, and Joe Taslim's character Ito goes to punch Arian, and he misses and punches the wall, and you just feel it.
Yeah, I like that. What was it, a horror movie a while back where the director came out and said that for the horror and the gore to be impactful, it has to be things that people can relate to. So most people haven't been shot, so they don't know what a gunshot feels like. But you know what that jar full of tacks feels like that Iko puts his hand into and then he has to pick them out? Who hasn't stabbed themselves with a tack or a staple or something like that? Everything hurts because you can relate to it. And that's what I love about the fight.
And there's that scene where Iko kicks the steel pole. And you feel the crunch. They
punch the floor a bunch of times, too.
Gosh.
Oh, and he's smacking Joe's face into the floor several times. So that you feel, too, because who hasn't stubbed their foot or their hand or something on a wall, floor?
Gosh, these people... All right, so let's get these guys are not human. This is not a realistic fight scene. I mean, there's a lot of blood and there's a lot of cuts. But it's... Didn't an article say Joe Taslim be dead 8 times in this movie?
I can't remember which article it was, IndieWire or Film School Rejects, one of those, where they said he should have been dead at least 6 or 8 times.
And I think I love the absurdity of that. It's just...
He's a brick shit house, but listen.
And that's perfect that you said that, because we read an interview about this where Iko, they had him be more of a jaguar. He's more of a...
You did this really cool pause. We put it on today to watch it again, and you paused it right at the beginning, and Iko's in this awesome fighting stance where he just looks so cool. He's in a half squat, and his arms are up, and he just looks so slick in his suit. And after that shot, I think he punches Joe. I'm not sure.
Front kicks.
The first thing is a front kick. Joe goes flying. His feet are in the air. He's 3 feet or I don't know, 6 feet away at this point. And Iko stands up and he straightens his tie and he sort of smiles.
It's so cool.
No, the tie bites him in the ass later, but still.
So he's like this live, like agile jaguar, and they called Joe Taslim a brute, a meathead, and a Hulk. And I kind of, you know me, nothing I do is pretty. So when I watch Ito, Joe Taslim in this movie, he's not slick. He's just, like you said, a brick shithouse who just hulks his way.
He's a bulldozer. He's just trucking through stuff as opposed to some of these skinnier guys.
And
although Bobby could give people a run for their money.
I did some notes. I did some research. And do you want to know who Joe based his fighting style off of?
Who?
Now we know they're using Pencak Silat.
Yes.
Which is...
Oh my gosh.
Elbows, knees, very heavy, just to hurt people.
Watch the YouTube videos. They're kind of intense. You were doing all kinds of research, and I'm just sitting there watching Pencak Silat videos online.
And when some guy said, if you lose the fight, you're dead, and if you win the fight, you're jailed.
Yeah, that was somebody who said their Pencak Silat master said that about the fighting style.
I love that. And so Joe, he's a big fan of The Simpsons. And there's an episode where Homer Simpson becomes a boxer. And he's not the best boxer, he's not the most athletic, but he has a complete inability to get hurt. So when he gets hit, it takes him a while to realize he's been hurt. So in this movie, he takes an inhuman amount of pain, but he has that inability. He's Homer Simpson. He has an inability to get hurt. And that's what he modeled his fighting style after, Homer Simpson.
That's funny.
And then Iko did all the fights in this film, the choreography.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, geez.
It's so good.
I'm happy to see him, because didn't he help come up with the style for the Raid movies? The style of fighting?
I think he helped adapt it so it was around in the movie style, right?
Yeah. For that movie, they adapted it based on there were some animals they saw hopping around the
You're right.
jungle. Gosh. And they adapted that, but that's neither here nor there. It's the
We'll
Raid.
do that for our next episode.
But it's cool that he's gone from there. So it wasn't he's in stunts, and then he helped adapt a fighting style for a whole movie series, and now he choreographed a whole movie.
Dude's awesome.
He's fantastic. I love Iko.
And I also love the director, Timo, was talking about how he wanted to mimic movies like Heat. There's a movie called Cobra with Sylvester Stallone that's excessively violent. It's horribly violent. So they wanted to do that. And then John Woo. And in John Woo movies, there are violent characters who have occasional sparks of over-sentimentality. So remember in this movie when Joe Taslim says... Like he saves a kid. He stops killing people and he goes and saves a kid. And so he has that over sentimentality. Then he also wanted to copy They Live, which is a John Carpenter classic where Roddy Piper and Keith David beat the tar out of each other for 10 minutes. and also Eastern Promises.
tar.
The tar. Tar, snot.
Squish.
Then there's Eastern Promises, where there is a Viggo Mortensen. You've never seen this, but he has a naked, drag down fight with a bunch of people in a sauna, and so he's naked the entire time, and everyone's getting stabbed. He's swirling around. Everyone's sweaty, and it's just the longest, most brutal fight scene that ends with just blood and viscera.
Ew.
And just a naked Viggo like slithering all over the floor while stabbing Russian mobsters.
I feel like you've covered it well enough. I don't have to watch it.
But that's what they base this on. And I can see all of that in this final fight. I have a question. Meg, my notes, they look like the scribblings of a madman, don't they?
I don't know. I can't read them upside down. So.
Do you know why I write these notes so crazy? If people ever steal it and want to use these movie notes to like write articles, they'll have no idea.
Yeah, no, it's like an unbreakable code. It's a cuneiform type language here.
All right, so you want to get into the fight?
Yes.
All right, so first, we're going to start with who. It is Ito.
Yes.
And Arian.
Yes.
2 longtime friends, correct?
That's the way they make it seem. I mean, they've known each other for quite some time. They're very familiar with one another. I believe that Arian has much more ambition to move up in their world because they're part of the 6 C's triad, and I think he has designs on being someone higher up in the ranks. Well, it sounds like he's moving there. He's very well dressed. He goes to clubs. He
beats the snot out of people there.
Yes, and the tar.
And the tar. And the goop.
And the squish.
The blood and the mud and the beer. So we have the who. Now the where. They're in a factory with chains, pipes, box cutters,
set design.
Blades, razors, saws. I mean, basically everything in here.
Jars full of tacks. evil little tacks.
Everything in here is used to as a weapon. Yeah. Nothing in this movie is not used. Mm-hmm. So everything in there.
That's fair.
So we know how long. It's 9 minutes. We know who. We know what it is, where the fight. And so what's the first kick in this movie is a front kick.
Yeah, I noticed on the videos of the fighting style on it, there's a lot of kicking, although I started watching a history of it, and they say more of the people from the mountains who practice this are much more into the kicks and a higher stance, but people from the coastal areas who are into it use a lower stance and much more hand movement for their strikes.
So that they are by the coastal area.
But he is more of the kick style.
Yeah.
So he would be more, he kicks a lot. But I mean, I just thought that was fascinating.
Joe's not a kicker.
No, Joe was more of a throw them big meat hooks at people.
He does a lot of pick up Iko in the air and drop them. Mm-hmm. But he just keeps, isn't it awesome how he just keeps coming forward? And, it takes him a good minute or 2 minutes to actually hit Iko. So the beginning of the fight is just Iko wailing on Joe Boy. Mm-hmm. Joey T. Joey T. So Joey T is getting wailed on. It takes him 2 minutes to hit Iko, but when he does, the punch, he feels it. Like,
yeah, they move throughout it's a pretty big room in here.
Yeah.
That they're fighting in.
I mean, they built that specifically for that.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I like the pipes. There's just nothing there's nothing that they could hit or punch or land on that's not going to hurt them. Mm-hmm. Both.
And I like the lower back work in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Iko gets flipped on a box. We're mixing up their names. There's Iko, Arian, Joe, and Ito. So just so you know, we're going back and forth. But there's a scene where Iko Uwais gets flipped on a box, and he's had his face punched, cut, stabbed, bloodied, and beaten. But when he falls on the box, he grabs his lower back like like that's I'm telling you, lower back injuries are the worst.
It is.
You could have a box cutter sticking out of your
face,
and someone punches your lower back, and you're like, "Oh, that's bad."
Well, because your face is, sort of disposable in the long run, but your back, you need all those muscles. It's your core.
And those scars look cool in your face.
Sure.
But you blow.
They've got a story, right?
You know me. I sneeze and I hurt my back. Mm-hmm. I used to have to hurt my back to hurt my back. Now I watch fights and I hurt my back.
Or, bend over to pick up a cat, hurt your back.
Pick up the Blu-ray to put in the deep Blu-ray and I blow my back out.
Yeah. Lift the remote.
But all right. What's your favorent part of this fight?
I don't know.
What's your favorite moment?
It's either the tax thing, because it really, quote unquote, it sticks with you.
Oh, brother.
Or it's the box cutter part. Because both of those things I can imagine hurting myself with.
Yeah. I don't remember the tax, but a minute before it came up, I think you just went, the tax. And you had a glazed look in your eyes.
So
you had a 1,000-yard stare, and you remembered the tax.
Full disclosure, our tools area in our garage is slightly a mess. And there's a box out there that has, I don't know, random crap in it, zip ties, and there are tacks in there. And occasionally I need the tacks for something, and it's always one of those things where I have to mentally prepare myself to stick my hand in the box with the tacks, knowing they could poke me. I should organize them, but I haven't.
You're just a glutton for punishment. You like it. It makes you feel alive. It makes you remember this
movie.
The
tacks are out there.
Yeah, and oh gosh, that's brutal. You know what mine is?
What?
When Joey T has a box cutter shoved through his cheek.
Oh, yeah.
And he breaks it off.
With his teeth.
With his teeth in his mouth.
Oh, well, the blade is still sticking out. He just breaks the actual, the thing that holds the box cutter.
Man, I'm feeling kind of barfy. He bites it off, pulls out the blade, and then the two of them just start slashing each other with box cutters.
Oh, yeah. So that is some great blood work right now there.
Oh,
just gets super bloody at that point because they're just slashing at arms and wrists, and blood is flying onto the floor and onto their bodies, and just, it's everywhere.
You know, a lot of people like to, they're joking about the blood industry, but in that fight, just keeping the continuity of it. Mm-hmm. They had to shoot in order, but just remembering where the blood was and from take to take. That's nuts. Mm-hmm. They had to do a lot of continuity photos on that. I would not like to work on that.
That was a squishy scene.
And then he almost gets scalped. So Iko almost gets scalped by a razor blade, by a saw that's on a table that cuts wood in half.
Yeah, that scene is really brutal to me because it feels so personal that he would let this. I know they're battling and they've been following each other all over the city doing this, but to push your friend or former friend or rival's head into a table saw just feels. Man, imagine if he really went through it with that and Iko's head, or Ito, is just...
Or Arian.
Busted. Arian's head is busted in half and blood and guts and brains. I mean, that would be... Whoa.
Yeah, because at first they're just kicking each other and a couple stabs.
I mean, that is next level brutality.
He literally tries to kill him, not just kick him.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed in the gut with a... So Iko Uwais stabs Taslim, Joey T, in the gut with a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this is before they start box cuttering each other.
And that's before they fight with the pipes. And then they bust through the chain link fence and they fall on the pipes.
That's when the lower back work.
Oh, and this is the same time as the tax. Because Iko has his hand behind his head. He's reaching for anything he can find. Joe is smart enough to move everything out of the way, but he misses the jar. And then I love when Iko looks down and he sees all the tacks. They're in both of his hands. And you can imagine, I mean, just think of the last time you stabbed yourself with something. They're all in his hands, both of them. And they're stuck into his jacket in his arm. And he starts plucking them out.
It's amazing.
Ugh.
And then, all right, so then he gets stabbed in the gut with a screwdriver. And then it ends with the two of them. Basically, they give up on defense. And they are just stabbing each other in the shoulders and in the mouth and in the chest. And then eventually, Joey T loses his box cutter and he stabs Arian in the throat with a piece of wood.
So, yeah, it's a fragment of wood, but it's got a nail sticking out of it.
Of course.
So he grabs it almost like you would with a corkscrew for a wine opener, and he wraps his fingers around it and jabs the nail up through the under part of his chin and into his mouth.
And so he's just bleeding out in the throat. And then the two just kind of yell at each other.
Yeah, he says some cryptic shit like, you can't die if you're already dead, or I can't kill you if you're already dead, and that really freaks out Arian.
And then he walks, and then Arian tries to shoot him and misses a lot. Mm-hmm. No, Iko tries to shoot Joey T and misses, and then that dude walks in and it's all over.
Yep.
But this 9-minute fight, Megan, between Joey T and Iko.
I love Joe's use of his forearms for blocking things. He gets shoved up against a steel beam at one point, and he actually manages to block his face getting hit by throwing his arm up there. So he's got some good moves.
Their shins and forearms are steel.
Oh, remember that one move in the beginning of the fight when Iko gets his leg either kicked or whacked, and he has to stop and rub it?
Yeah. I got someone who's a big fan of Dolph Lundgren's front kicks. It starts with the front kick. Oh gosh! Any other highlights on this before we get out of here? Final thoughts about this fight?
It's definitely one of the best.
It is. I mean, 9 minutes of them just wiping each other out, and I kind of love the different looks of each one. So Joey T has the short sleeve Henley all cut up, and he's looking like He got run over a bus that carries glass, right?
Oh, yeah, well, considering everything that happened to him before they got here.
It was like shards of glass were on the ground and a bus hit him and ran over him while he rubbed on the shards of glass. And then
that's about right.
Iko is wearing an Only God Forgives suit looking like Ryan Gosling with really well coiffed hair.
Very nice red tie. It stands out on his all black suit.
Then he gets choked with it.
But it's a 3-piece suit too, because at one point he takes off the jacket and he still has on a vest and a shirt. I have a question for you. Are you happy about how the fight ends?
I didn't want either one of them killing each other. I know.
I remember that the first time we saw it. I was so stressed out because we love both of them. And it's such a good fight. But you don't want anybody to die by each other's hands.
This isn't some Fast and the Furious BS where they couldn't beat each other, right? You know what I mean? I can't lose a fight. It's my contract. This was, they fought each other to a standstill. They just went their separate ways. Because he did say, I crossed the ocean for you. This was Iko was telling Joey T, I crossed the ocean here. This is your fault. We were doing great. All of our friends are dead because you didn't kill this one kid. You killed 18 other kids. But then you see this other kid and you don't kill it, and then all of our people die.
It was funny. One of the articles did make a point about how he didn't hesitate to help murder the whole village, and there were probably other children there. But the one kid at the end, he just wouldn't kill.
Yeah.
Not to say that they haven't done this many times beforehand. He just all of a sudden has a pang of humanity.
Yeah, enough of it. He was just tired. And you think that what makes him dangerous is he's done all the killing, but he's also done with it? Man, what a good movie. So this was good. Perfect first episode. I just want to give one recommendation out. In Fast and Furious 6, our homeboy, Joe Taslim, is in it. And he has a wonderful fight scene against Sung Kang and Tyrese, where he beats the living tar, snot, blood, mud, beer, goop, and squish out of them. He destroys poor Sung Kang and Tyrese. And it's a glorious fight scene.
I expect nothing less.
All right. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me and letting me demand this movie.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Megan Hoffmeyer, this is Final Fights by Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.